by the slimmest of margins. And in today's early morning hours, House Republicans approved President Trump's sweeping budget bill, sending it now to the Senate. This budget bill only passing by a single vote. Republicans are praising the bill, saying it would help American citizens with big tax cuts. Speaker Mike Johnson was able to convince some holdouts to push the bill through. Democrats are criticizing the proposal, saying it takes away health care for millions, including Medicaid and Medicare, and will add trillions of dollars to the budget deficit.
What my Democrat colleagues are prioritizing when they say they oppose our bill, what they're really saying is 4.8 million people who refuse to work a part-time job or volunteer in their community are entitled to free health care paid by hardworking taxpayers.
All told, given the cuts to the ACA, the cuts to Medicaid, the cuts to Medicare, the largest loss of health care in American history as a result of this bill.
The bill now moves on to the Senate, where there could be more challenges by Republicans. Speaker Johnson says he wants to get the bill to President Trump to be signed by July 4th. And it was a thin margin, 215 votes for the bill and 214 votes against it. So let's take a look at our local lawmakers in the House. In Iowa, both Representatives Ashley Hinson and Marionette Miller-Meeks voted for the bill. In Illinois, Representatives Mary Miller and Darren LaHood voted for it as well. Now, the lone House Democrat in our area, Representative Eric Sorensen, voted against it. And News 8's Haley Pickelhoft has been following this all day, checking in with those elected officials on both sides of the river. She joins us now in studio. All right, Haley, let's start with Iowa Representative Marionette Miller-Meeks. She sits on the Energy and Commerce Committee, which really had a crucial role in passing this bill. What did she have to say?
Well, hey there, Shelby. To start off, those tax cuts are a highlight here on the Republican side with Congresswoman Marionette Miller-Meeks. She points out an increase in the standard tax deduction. She says over 420,000 people would be impacted by expiring tax hikes. That's if this bill isn't passed. But Medicaid cuts and concerns over rural health care are making headlines too. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the package cuts Medicaid spending by $700 billion. Now, Miller-Meeks says those cuts are in part because of new work requirements. That's for able-bodied people under 64. She says for 80 hours a month, those people must work, volunteer, or be in educational activities.
It's unfair to ask somebody who's 55 years old to go to your neighbor and say, will you please keep working and keep paying taxes so I can stay home and not work but have Medicaid? That's just not fair.
She also says it ensures people aren't getting coverage in multiple states at once. Now, overall, the Congressional Budget Office estimates this bill will remove health care coverage for 8.6 million people. Now, earlier this week on the Senate floor, Illinois Democratic Senator Dick Durbin spoke against the package. He says the Medicaid program ensures 1 in 4 people in Illinois, and it also covers nearly half the births in the state. He said hospital administrators are worried.
They told the story of what the reconciliation bill means to them. Cutting services in communities, closing down critical hospitals. Instead of 20 minutes for that pregnant woman with her first baby to get to the doctor, to get to the hospital, instead of 20 minutes, it'll be an hour and 20 minutes.
Durbin also says the bill is the largest cut to anti-hunger funding in U.S. history. Now, if it's passed, the new Medicaid requirements will start in 2026. Shelby?
All right, Haley. You can hear much more from the Congresswoman Marionette Miller-Meeks this Sunday on News 8 This Week with John Diaz.